Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is a special episode of Track and Field Business Uncut. Independence is coming up, and this will be about celebrating the athletes. It's Independence time, Jamaica 50, not Jamaica 50, Jamaica 61. Jamaica will be celebrating 60 years in 61 years this year, 2023. And it is about celebrating our track and field athletes. And my co host this evening is none other than Celine Campbell. Celine Campbell herself is a former track and field athlete from one of our prestigious high school, St. Mary High, the school that won Girls Champs 1976 and 1977 with the outstanding Jackie Pusey. Of course, Celine wasn't around at that time. Celine was nowhere here that time. And Celine was able to balance track and field. She was able to balance sport and balance academics. And Celine, in another few months, will be graduating from the University of the West Indies with a major in journalism. So big congrats to Celine. Please to show her
Thank you.
some love. And as I said before, tonight's episode is about just sharing some of Jamaica's track and field legacy with our audience, and of course, highlighting some of our most outstanding athletes. But before we start with Celine, I just want to say welcome to each and everyone joining us tonight, wherever you are. Welcome already. I am seeing Kino. Welcome, Kino. Welcome, Sandra Henry, Sandy British. Welcome to everyone. And of course, we are going to kick things off with Celine.
All right, so good night, everyone, and thank you, HP, for having me. Of course, it's always a pleasure to be here on your show. Now, Jamaica Track and Field started more than 90 years ago. As a matter of fact, outstanding athletes such as Alfred Dono and Mr. Gerald Claude Eugene Foster competed in track and field before the 1930s. So, who is Gerald Claude Eugene Foster, you may ask? Of course, he's none other than the great G.C. Foster. And if you're guessing that's where the school G.C. Foster got their name, then indeed you are correct. So the outstanding G.C. Foster, he made an attempt to register for the Summer Olympic Games that was in 1908, but was later denied entry because at the time Jamaica was not a member of the International Olympic Committee, that's the IOC. Now, in order to have competed at the Olympic Games during that time, well, even now it is, your country had to be a member, must be a member of the IOC. Unless, of course, special arrangements were made by the IOC to have you exempted. Jamaica became a member of the IOC in 1939, and it was to be that they were to compete in the Olympics 1940, in the year 1940 and 1944. However, both those games got cancelled due to the ongoing World War, which it started in 1939 and continued up until 1945. So, HP, would you mind telling us what happened after that?
Thank you very much for that, Celine. And before we go any further, someone in the audience was saying Celine is a little low. So I'm going
Is
to
that
put a little bit more volume to see if we can get her a little higher. Sandy was saying that you're a little low.
all
All
right? How am
right.
I sounding now?
How is
Any
she
better?
sounding now, guys? Is she sounding a little louder for you guys?
I turned up the volume on my end, so is that good?
Okay, good. Okay, as Celine said, Jamaica became a member of the IOC in 1939, which is correct. Jamaica's rich track and field legacy started in the 1930s. Many may have thought that it started in 1948 at the Olympic Games, but it was actually in the 1930s at the CAC Games where Team Jamaica won its first global medal over 90 years ago, and we have not looked back. The first official competition that Team Jamaica entered was 1930. And in 1930, Jamaica participated in the first official competition. This was the CAC Games, which is the Central America and Caribbean Games, aka it's called the CAC Games. The Central America and the Caribbean Games is a multi-sport events, kind of like the Olympics, but of course a smaller version of the Olympics. And of course, it does not involve the entire world. It is just a part of the region that is, or a part of the world that is involved. And this competition is held every 4 years since 1926 in different cities within region comprises of Central America and the Caribbean. Team Jamaica Joseph Mackenzie, a former student athlete of St. George's College, which is one of the oldest boys' schools in Jamaica, he won a silver medal in the high jump for Jamaica with a leap of 1.75 meters. This would make him Jamaica's first ever international medal winner. So as you can see, guys, we did not start in the sprints or on the track. We actually started in the field. And I'm going to push it back to Celino, who is going to tell us about the second official competition that Jamaica entered.
All right, so by the year 1934, continuing on those Commonwealth Games, Team Jamaica was at it again, and this time they found themselves in another major competition. This time it was the Commonwealth Games that was formerly known as the British Empire Games, right? So this was Jamaica's second major competition and first time at the Commonwealth Games. And of course, track and field would not be denied. So what happened here was, as Bernard Leopold Prendergast, he actually medaled and he got a bronze medal in the discus throw at this Olympic Games. So by the 1940s, Jamaica, they were now having confidence in their team. They were stepping up in style, lacing up for the biggest stage in track and field competition in the industry. And this, of course, was the Olympic Games. So they were successful, bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games, and now they're preparing themselves and gathering up for the Olympic Games. And HB, you can take us through what happened at the Olympic Games.
Okay, so we are now at the third competition that Jamaica actually entered in. And as we said earlier, it was at the CAC Games. So we are now at number three, which is the big one, which is the Olympic Games. So Jamaica step up their thing in 1948. Jamaica's third stop on the track and field global stage was the prestigious competition, which is the Summer Olympic Games, the highest level of competition for track and field. Jamaica became, as Celine said earlier, Jamaica became a member of the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, in 1939. But by the time we get to the 1940 games, those games had to be canceled because of World War II, as she said earlier. The island's Olympic team, of course, dream came to life when we became a member of the IOC. But of course, those two games were not to happen because of World War II. And of course, we had to put the party on hold. But by 3 years post World War II, which is 3 years after World War II, in 1948, Jamaica, led by Olympian pioneers, and these are some of our pioneers: Arthur Wint, Herb McKinley, Vinton Beckett, Sidney Foster, Leslie, Basil Mackenzie, Carmen Phipps, George Roden, Kathleen Russell, and Dr. Cynthia Thompson. They all went to the 1948 games, where they turn up London like Jamaicans know how to do. Though 1948 was our first Olympic Games as a country, we still did not have a flag with the black, green, and yellow. Our flag color at that time was the red, blue, and white. And this, of course, it is because of our affiliation with the British empire. The history books was about to be updated, which it with its first chapter of the Olympic Games. Of course, the land of wood and water surprised the world by winning a quinella, gold and silver, in the men's 100 meter with Mr. Arthur Wint and Mr. Herb McKinley. Wint also went on, he did not stop there, but he went on winning a silver medal in the men's 800 meter. 4 years later, in 1952, the games was held in Helsinki, Finland, where Jamaica was at it again. Of course, a second straight quinella in the 400 meters, winning gold and silver, this time with Mr. George Roden and Mr. Herb McKinley. Also, Jamaica won gold in the prestigious 4x4 men's relay, a silver medal in the 100 meters by Mr. Herb McKinley. No, this would have been Jamaica's first medal in the 100 meters at the 1952 Games. And of course, another silver medal in the 800 meters with Mr. Arthur Wint. Another thing to note here, and we said it earlier, that just to highlight this, Jamaica's rich track and field legacy did not start on the track. It started in the field, it started with the quarter mile, and it started with the middle distance. So as we get into Jamaica's fourth global competition now, Celine will take us through this one.
And just listening to you going through the history and all of that, it just goes to say that indeed we're little, but we tell our.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Indeed. So I'm going to take you through the 80s, right? So the 80s came alive with a new championship. Now, this was the World Championship, which was held in 1983, and this was also held in Helsinki, Finland. Now, unlike the other events, right, the World Championships is a track and field only competition. So the competition was generally designed to be held every 4 years, but that was changed in short order to every 2 years instead. Now, without hesitation, the team was on the plane again for the first staging of this new World Championships in track and field. This meant for us more competition, more medals to be gained, more medals to be won, more glory for Jamaica, and more opportunities to cement the island's legacy and write another chapter in our history book. Now, Jamaica once more, they created a buzz, anywhere, it is said that anywhere we go, we stand out, right? So we created a buzz and we were determined not to be denied. So the history book just kept growing in terms of its chapters, and we kept on doing good for ourselves, rebranding ourselves, putting ourselves out there. So this came Bert Cameron. He was outstanding. He was the first ever 400-meter world champion in the men's category. So he was one of them who contributed to this legacy and this history that we were writing. He got the first world medal in the 400 quarter mile. So it's not the sprints. Just like you were saying, we started out in the field. That's where we got our first success, and then we move it down to the quarter mile, and then we got to the sprints, because there are many people who think that we started in the sprints because that's where we dominate mostly. But I guess they learned something new tonight. So knowing women, we were not to be left out of the party, of course, and thankfully to Merlene Joyce Ottey, she became the first woman to win an Olympic medal for Jamaica. So Merlene Ottey, anyway, there, big up yourself. So Merlene Ottey, she won Jamaica's first World Championship medal. She copped a silver medal in the 200 meter. Later on in the championships again, Merlene joined her teammates. Now, this was an outstanding team. You had the pair from St. Mary High School, all right? It comprised of Lilith Hodges and Jackie Pusey, along with Morant Bay's sprint queen, Juliet Cockburn Flynn. No, they took home the bronze medal in the 4x1 100 in the 4x1 relays. So that was a historic moment for them. Definitely one that went for the books.
Indeed, indeed. And, looking back at all this information, many would have thought that our glory started in the sprints and it started at the Olympics, but we are coming from uh, over 90 years ago. We're coming from our first major championship as a country, 1930s as a country. And that is indeed a big, big achievement. What a start to a new chapter in our history book in track and field at the World Championship. Of course, Jamaica came home with the first ever 400-meter champion. And of course, Marlene Ati again, being the first woman to win a medal at the Olympic Games for Jamaica, became the first woman to win a medal at the World Championship. What a legacy. There are many
Mm.
other competitions that Jamaica have been a part of for many, many years. We're talking about the NACAT Games, which is the North American, Central American, and the Caribbean Games. We have the Youth Olympics. We have the Paralympic Games. We have the Grand Prix. We have the Diamond League. We have a host of other track meet, domestic meets around the world. And of course, if you name it, Jamaica has a mark there. So, Celine, after looking at this short history, because it's a lot of information out there, but after looking at this short history, you being a track and field athlete yourself at one of the notable high school at Girls Champs, just quickly give me your thoughts on you being a part of this, because you are a part of this.
All right, so it it was a lot to deal with, meaning the whole excitement, the emotions that you get from competing at these games. Well, St. Mary High School, we have been dominating at Eastern Champs. That's where we shine or brightest. So I once you go there for Easter and you know what is expected of you and you produce accordingly. But once you get to the bigger stage now, and that's boys and girls champs, it's like a different feeling, a different mood. It's a whole different vibe. The support that's there, regardless of the school that you're supporting, it's a whole different vibe out there. So on that particular day, knowing that you are there to compete, right? And you're competing with the best of the best. So you're going to want to do your best. And to know that this is how far our legacy is coming from in track and field. You know that track and field is something that we prize as a country, and it's always fun and games when track and field time comes around. So it's something that, knowing that it started from boys and girls, that's where you actually build yourself to move on to Olympics and all of that. You know that there, as an athlete, you have to set yourself to be seen, to know that, all right, if you medal here, you can go on further. So we talk about character games, we talk about junior world championships, and therefore, so you know that that's where you would go and perform in order to be selected to go there. So you're caught up in the moment, but at the same time, you have a goal in mind. And during all of this excitement, you're cognizant of that goal. But once you're there as a spectator to just watch and cheer on these athletes, both ways, it's just a feeling to remember. I'm no longer an athlete, but I do remember what it feels like being there as a spectator and as an athlete.
Pot cover, man. The pot
Tell your
cover.
man.
The pot cover energy, always, always. It let me tell you, I am a track and field fan, and it is, as you said before, when track and field season come around, is a different kind of energy. Whether it is champs, whether it is the Olympics, whether it is a world champ, the energy is just different. And anywhere in the world we are tuned in and we are
Right.
watching. We Jamaica say track and field. So
Right?
now in this segment, we're going to highlight some athletes. All the names that I have on my list, they have been to the Olympics. They are Olympians. And it was easy to get the Olympian list because it is a little bit more structured. And I'm sure there are a lot of other athletes out there, but the list that I have, It is comprised of Olympians, and we're going to start giving some love now to the athletes. And we're going to start in the era. We're going to start from 1908 with Celine. So Celine is going to do between 1908 and the 1960s. And of course, we're going to alternate. And as I said before, I know that we have other athletes, but it wasn't easy to find everyone. But I think I found all the Olympians. So, Celine, let us show our athletes some independence love. Take it away.
Indeed, they deserve it. So in 1908, we have G.C. Foster. 1930s, Joseph Mackenzie. Then we go down to the 1940s and 1950s. So we kind of we merge those names together. We merge the list together, sorry. So we have Arthur Wint, Basil Mackenzie, Carmen Phipps, Cynthia Thompson, George Roden, Herb McKinley, Kathleen Russell, Keith Gardner, Les Lang, Sidney Foster. We also have on this list Vinton Beckett, Aldine Mayer Clark, Carmen Smith, Dennis Johnson. We have as well Earl Taylor, George Carr, Laurie Kahn, Lennox Miller, Lynn Headley, Mel Spence. We have Neville Maiton. I hope I'm pronouncing these names correct in
You are
HB.
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
correct.
so we have Neville Maiton. Then we have Pablo McNeil, Patrick Robinson, Rupert Hoylett, Una Morris, Vilma Charlton, and Wellesley Clayton. And that
Wow.
comprises the list.
What a list we have for the pioneers. I call these people the pioneers. These are the people who started the thing. These are the people who first stepped out in the Jamaican colors, whether it was the red, blue, and white or the black, green, and gold. These were the people who started it for us. Thank you, Celine. So now
No problem.
I am going to go into the 70s. So I'm going to look at the 70s, 1972 and 1976. And as I said before, the list that I have is made up of the Olympians, all the Olympians. And of course, a lot of these people went on to compete in other events for us. But it is not that easy to find the other list. So what I did was to work with the Olympians list. So, and the names that we're calling, these people, they made their debut in the year that we are calling their name. Of course, others went to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Olympic Games. So I'm going to start with the 70s now, the people who made their debut in the 70s. 1972, we're talking about Alfred Daly, Andrea Bruce, Audrey Reed, Brian Dice, Carl Cummins, Debbie Byfield, Donald Quarry, Godfrey Murray, Henry Jackson, Kim Rowe, Leighton Presley, Lilith Hodges, Mike Frey, Richard Hardware, Rosie Allwood, Ruth Williams Simpson, Trevor Campbell, Ivan Saunders. And then in 1976, we have Colin Bradford, Helen Blake, Jackie Pusey, Marilyn Newerville, and Seymour Newman. This would complete the list for those who made their debut for the country in the 70s. Now, Celine is going to take us through the 80s, and the 80s have a long list. Take it away,
Yeah.
Celine.
And we've gone through so many names already. All right, so for the 1980s, we start with Ian Stapleton. We have Michael Davis, Derek Pinedo, Owen Hamilton. We have Desmond Morris, Dorothy Scott, Albert Lawrence, Bert Cameron, Merlene Ottey Page. We move down to 1984 now. So we have, on this list, we have Cynthia Green, Dennis Wallace, Gawain Guy, Gus Young. We have Hilary Oliver, Janet Burke, Carl Smith, Ken Gray, Lenroy Reed, Mark Sr., Marlene Lewis, Norman Edwards, Overil Dwyer Brown. We have Sandra Farmer Patrick, Sophia Hunter, sorry, Steve Griffiths, Veronica Findlay, Andrea Thomas, Derek Adamson, Greg Magoo, Devon Morris, Grace Jackson Small, Kathy Rattray Williams, Juliet Cuthbert, Ray Stewart. Then that will form the 1984. We're now at 1988, and I hope you're keeping I hope you're keeping track. So we have Andrew Parker, Andrew Smith, Chris Faulkner, Clive Wright, Ethelyn Tate, Howard Burnett, John Mayer, Laurel Johnson, Marcia Tate, Richard Buckner, Sharon Powell, Trevor Graham, Vivian Spence, Howard Davis, Winthrop Graham, and we end that list with Sandy Richards.
Wow. What a list. But let me ask you something, Celine. You're calling these names. How many of these names you are familiar with? Tell me something
Whew.
about any of these athletes that we've named so far coming into 1988.
All right, so I'm only familiar with a few. I recognize Juliet Cuthbert, uh, Merlene Otias. I would have mentioned her being the first woman to have won a medal in the World Championships. So I know that about her. Coming down, I recognize also, well, his name was the first name that I mentioned, Gerald Claude Foster, GC Foster. So I know that the school got their name from him. And I picked up also, yeah, to be honest, those are the only names I know. Bert Cameron. Let me
Yep.
not forget him, Bert Cameron. Apart from that, I'm not familiar with this list at all, at
Wow.
all.
So
So it's a
you
learning moment for me too.
So you see, with our track and field legacy, it is a lot. It is a lot of information out there for people to
Indeed.
learn about the history of the sport, who started the sport, who were the pioneers, who are some of these great people who have gone on and have done, um, who have contributed to Jamaica track and field legacy for over 90 years. And I'm seeing where Raymond Hall has joined us. Hi, Raymond. Welcome. Raymond said, well done, Celine. He said, well done. Okay,
Yes.
moving now
Thank
into
you.
the 90s. I am going to be doing the 90s. And let me tell you, this is a mouthful. This is a mouthful. And let us continue. So in the 90s now, we have Anthony Knight, Delia Duhaney, Mark Thompson, Patrick O'Connor, Rudolph Mighty, Clive Terrelong, Dennis Blake, Diane Guthrie, Dion Rose Henley, Gillian Russell, Michael Green, Catherine Pommel Scott, Dion Hemmings McCarthy, well, Dion Hemmings at the time, Juliet Campbell, Michelle Freeman, and that was 1992. Alex Morgan, Andrea Lloyd, Elston Cawley, Garth Robinson, the great Ines Turner, Leon Gordon, Neil Gardner, Nicole Mitchell, another outstanding from St. Mary High School, Percival Spencer, Roxbert Martin, Suzette Lee, Tracy Barnes, Debian Paris, Dinsdale Morgan, Gregory Horton, who is now Dr. Gregory Horton, Merlene Fraser, Michael McDonald, Robert Foster, Beverly McDonald, Davian Clark, James Beckford, Lacina Golding Clark. I need a water break. I need a water
Right?
break. But I'm going to throw something else at you, Celine. Of all the names that we've called so far, can you identify two male athletes and two female athletes and the high school that they went to or competed for a chance?
Oh,
I know that
am
I'm
I allowed
throwing
to
you
use
in.
St. Mary
You
High?
can use any school. If you're going to use St. Mary, then I will have to say at least three women. Let us start first. Name me four women that we've named so far and the school that they competed for at Girls Champs.
Ah, HP.
You
All
know
right,
this. You
so
know this.
all right. So Nicole Mitchell, St. Mary High, Jacqueline Pusey, St. Mary High, Juliet Cuthbert, Morant Bay, and you said four,
Five.
five. Ugh.
I'm allowing you to use the ladies from your alma mater, so I said five. Yeah, two more.
Yeah,
You got
I think
this.
that's fair. That's fair. Um,
You got
can
this,
I
girl.
say? Oh, man. So
You got
four
you.
females, four
You've
males.
gone three. You've gone three females. I need two more.
None of those in the chat want to help me. I mean,
People in the chat,
let's include
do
them.
you
Let's
want to
include
help
them.
her? Kino, do you want to help her? Raymond,
I'm young.
she need two more females and the school that they went. I'm going to give you a name and let me see if you can tell me where she went. I'm going to give you our sprint queen, Merlene Ati. Which school Merlene Ati went to?
Was it there?
Ver is correct.
All right.
So now you'll have to choose another one and the school that they went to. I mean, I could give you a host of names, but
All right. So I'm going to go with a lady. No more from St. Mary High. So
guys in the chat, do you want to help her? All right, I'm going to help you. I'm just going to throw names out there until you tell me which school they went to.
all right, no problem. I like that.
Lasina Golden Clark.
Christina Golden Clark. You know, when we were having the quizzes, HP, a lot of these
Yes,
names,
a lot of these names came up when I did the chance quiz.
a
You're right.
lot, including her name as well.
Yes. Okay, if you
Oh,
don't know Lasina Golden Clark, let us go to Ines Turner.
Inez. It's a school in the rural area. Oh,
Ines was a standout at Girls Champs. All right, you don't know Ines.
all right.
Let us go with. See, somebody is helping you in the chat. Somebody is helping you in the chat. Look at. Can you see the comments?
No, I'm not able. Let's see if
Somebody is helping you. A matter of fact, the person who is helping
right on.
you will be on
Whoa,
will be on the program next week. She is a former coach of Dintil High School. She's helping you out.
Marcia Tate.
Right,
Wow,
Marcia
I would
Tate.
not have guessed that.
Yes, Marcia Tate went, and there's actually two Tate. There's Marcia Tate from Dintil High School, and there's also Ethelyn Tate who went to Very Technical. I was even going to give you Dion Hemmings or Gillian Russell.
Dion went to
Dion went to two high schools.
right, and I think one was in St. Anne, if I'm not lying.
She went to York Castle
Yorkester,
and
right,
then Very
right.
Technical. Welcome, Regina Montague. Welcome, Coach Montague. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Celine, now after that water break that we just take, you are going to take us into the athletes of the 2000, which was the year before we started the 21st century. So take it away.
All right, and I'm more familiar with some of these days.
I'm sure
All
you will
right.
be.
So for the 2000s we have Astia Walker, Charmaine Howell, Donovan Powell, Elva Goulburn, Ian Weekly, Karen Butel, Keisha Spencer, Lindell Frater, Llewellyn Bredwood, Lorraine Fenton. We have Marvin Watts, Claston Bernard, Kemel Thompson, Madria Hyman, Michael Blackwood, Michelle Berger, Olivia McCoy. Too far. All right. And we have Petrina Allen. We have Patrick Jarrett, Ricardo Williams, Sanjay Ayer, Tanya Lawrence, Christopher Williams, Danny McFarlane, Delarine Ennis London, Dwight Thomas, Bridget Foster Hilton, and Veronica Campbell Brown.
All right, well done. So here what you're going to do now, Celine. I want you to give me three male names and the school they went to from this list that you just did. This is a 2000 list. Granted, you were a baby. Were you born yet
Yes,
though?
so like, no, when I was saying the 2000s, I meant like
2000, you weren't born yet. Okay.
2008 going upward, yeah.
Okay. All
But
right.
I'm familiar with the names, but
All
the
right. Give me
schools,
three of the
might
men,
be a challenge.
three men, and the schools they went to.
All right, so I'm gonna give you I just mentioned his name, and I smile when I mention his name. Um, Danny McFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Danny McFarlane.
Yeah, where he
The school.
where he where where he went to school, where Danny went to school.
Danny went to school at, we can do multiple
I'm
choice,
I'm going to give
ABC.
you a clue. Danny went to school in on the north coast.
North Coast.
The north coast would be like Ocherius, them side.
William Nib?
No, William Nib is actually in the west,
No.
which is Trelawney. He went to school in Ocherius. He went to Ocherius High.
Oh,
Yeah.
uh,
Let's go
I
with
would
Dwight
have guessed that.
Thomas.
Dwight Thomas. What HP? I show me up still enough.
All right, all right. I'll allow you to choose. You just choose one more male and which school he went to, and then I'll give you three females.
Three females
Choose
from the same list.
yes, choose you can choose a male name and I will give you some clues.
All
Choose
right, let's go with Sanjay. Sanjay
Sanjay.
Air.
Okay, Sanjay Air. Okay. Calabar, Excelsior, Hydel.
Calabar.
Okay, you are correct. He actually went to all three schools. Yes, he
Yeah.
started out at Calabar, then he went to Hydel, and then he completed his high school track career at Excelsior.
And what
Name
was his event, HP? What was his event?
he is the 400-meter hurdles. But you know, with most of our athletes, they can do, especially at the champs level, they do multiple events. But
Right.
his the event
Final
that he
event?
settled with was
400.
yeah, the 400. Yes, the 400. Yes. So now you're from this list, which is the 2000, which is very easy. You're going to
Yeah,
choose
this one
two
isn't bad.
females, and I will give you clues, and you can answer.
All right, so for Veronica Campbell Brown, that's Veer. She went to Veer.
Yes, you're right.
And for Bridget Foster Hilton, I think Bridget
You
went to
need
Veer
some.
as well.
You need some clues.
Or St. Diego.
Do you need some clues, ma'am?
I think I'm gonna take those clues. Yes, ma'am.
You want the clues? Okay, so you're talking about Bridget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for Bridget, the clues are the Queen's School, St. Jago, Stets.
Queens.
No, ma'am, Stets.
Stats. And look how I said confident what Queens.
Yeah, she went to St. Elizabeth Technical. So now that we're finished with that water break again, we're going to move on down to 2004. So the athletes who made their debut in 2004, I'm going to start with Alison Beckford, Brandon Simpson, Christopher Pinnock, Dean Griffiths, Kimberly Barrett, Michael Campbell, Michelle Ballantyne, Nadia Davy, Patricia Allen, Ronita Smith, Winston Smith, Jermaine Gonzalez, Maurice Smith, Maurice Wignall, Richard Phillips, Chevon Stoddart, Aileen Bailey, Karen Stewart, Michael Frater, Novlene Williams Mills, Sharon Simpson, Trisha Gay Smith, Asafa Powell, and Usain Bolt. And that end the list of the athletes who made their debut in 2004. Now, what do you want to tell me? What do you know about any of these athletes?
Usain Bolt. He's a
What do you
legend.
know about Usain Bolt's career?
All right, for his career, I remember his national record, or was it the world record? 9.58 for the 100 meters. I'm also
Yes,
aware of his 200-meter record, 19.19.
you are correct. Which school Usain Bolt attended?
William Nib,
William Nib is right. Which event did Usain Bolt compete in at Boys Champs?
at 400 meters. Is
It
it the
was actually
400?
the triple jump.
Oh yes, he
I'm
was at
kidding.
the
I'm kidding.
winner.
I'm kidding. He wasn't in the jumps. He was the 400. You're right. The 200, the 200, and the 400 meters were his events while he was in high school. Any other? Is there any athlete on this list that you don't know about or that you do know about, apart
That
from
I don't
Usain,
know
that you
about.
know about?
Asafa Powell. I remember Sharon Simpson. I remember her from one of the she was a part of one of she was a part of one of the Olympic teams. The medal for the relays. I think they were placed first, if I'm not lying, with
Yes. Yeah.
Veronica Simpson Stewart. Karen was on it.
No,
I'm trying.
that team, that 2014 that won at the Olympic Games, Athens Olympic Games, was Tanya Lawrence to Sharon to Aileen Bailey to Veronica.
To
That was the
Veronica.
winning
Okay.
team. That was the golden team in 2004. So now that we've taken that water break, Celine will take away 2008. Let's go to 2008 now.
All right. So 4 years later, we have Aldwin Stapleton, we have Aladdin Fothergill, Bobby Gay Wilkins, Chelsea Hammond, we have Herbert McGregor, Issa Phillips, we have Lansford Spence, Markina Buckley, Marvin Anderson, Ricardo Chambers. We have also Sherrian Brooks, Vonette Dixon, Zara Northover, Dorian Scott, Kenya Sinclair. We have Corinne Hines, Melanie Walker, Nesta Carter. We also had Rosemary White. We had names, we had in the likes of Sharifa Lloyd, Sharika Williams, Nikisha Wilson, and of course, Shelly and Fraser Price.
Beautiful. Before I get into 2012, name me one person from this list at the 2008 Olympics that won gold.
Shelly and Fraser Price.
Beautiful.
She did. She did.
Okay, so now we are at 2012. I'm just going to go through 2012 quickly. 2012,
Question HP. Was
sure.
it in 2008 that Melanie Walker won gold for the
Yes.
400? Oh, okay.
Yes, Melanie Walker also won gold in 2008. 2008, we had a nice little cabinet of gold medal. Veronica retaining her title, Shelly Ann winning the 100, Usain Bolt winning the 1-2, Melaine winning the 400-meter hurdles. We also won the 4x1, and so that year was a very, very good year for Jamaica. So now let's jump into 2012. Alison Randall, Dane Hyatt, Edina Steele, Errol Nolan, Jason Morgan, Joseph Robertson, Khalees Spencer, Latoya Greaves, Lenford Green, Rika Hilton, Samantha Henry Williams, Robinson, Shaloni Calvert, Warren Ware, Andrew Riley, Christine Day, Demar Forbes, Hansel Parchment, Kemar Bailey Cole, Roxroy Cato, Rashid McDonald, Charmaine Williams, Travis Michael, Kimberly Williams, Johan Blake. Name me one person from this team that medal at the 2012 Olympics, except for I don't want you to name
Yuan Lee.
I don't want you to name Shelly or Usain. Name me
All
any
right,
other.
not sure what you're saying.
Don't you name Shelly or Usain. Name any other athlete from 2012 from this list that medal at the 2012 Olympic Games, which was Jamaica 50.
All right, Yuan Blake,
Correct.
Kelly, I'm not sure.
What
Kelly Spencer,
you want to name another one?
Kelly's, did
Yeah,
Kelly's,
Khalees
Kelly
Spencer did. She was upgraded to a bronze medal. So yes, you are right. All
years
right.
later. Yes,
Yeah.
right, right.
So
And
no. Okay, go
oh, you
ahead.
want another?
No,
I
it's
was
fine.
going
It's
to say,
fine.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can go ahead now and wrap up 2016.
All right, so for 2016, we have Anisha McLaughlin Wilby, Ansert White, Aubrey Smith, Chrisann Gordon, Christania Williams, Clive Pullen, Dania Levy, Deuce Carter, Fitzroy Dunkley, Javon Francis, Kellyanne Nibb, Kemar Campbell, Nickel Ashmead, O'Dane Richards, Omar McLeod, Peter Matthews, Ristinana Tracy, Sasha Lee Forbes, Shade Lawrence. We have Shanika Thomas, Simone Facey, Simoya Campbell. We also have Tara Sue Barnett, Aisha Protler, Daniel Thomas Dodd, Elaine Thompson Hero, Cedric Bakers, Jail Hyde, Genevieve Russell, Javon Minzy, Leah Nugent, Megan Topper, Nathan Allen, Natoya Gould, Sharika Jackson, and Stephanie Ann McPherson.
Beautiful. This list is long. This list is mouth-watering, but let us just check in on the live. Okay. So Kadeem Barrett was he was naming some people who medal at the 2012 Olympics. He was saying Warren Weir, which he's correct. Warren Weir was a part of that
The
historic 1, 2, 3 with
three
Johan
200
and
meters, yes.
right. And he also named Veronica Campbell Brown and Johan Blake. Thank you very much, Kadeem. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go to 2020 now to wrap up the Olympics and shout out to the athletes. 2020, we have Brianna Williams, Brittany Anderson, Candice McLeod, Carrie McLeod, Chad Wright, Shanice Porter, Christopher Taylor, Damian Thomas, Demish Gay, Julian Ford, Janelle Brumfield, Kareem Bartley, Kemar Mott, Lloydrika Cameron, Natasha Morrison, Oblique Seville, Rashid Dwyer, Ramona Burchell, Ronna Levy, Rhonda White, Ranisha McGregor, Sean Bailey, Shanika Ricketts, Sean Rowe, Stacey Ann Williams, Tajay Gale, Tishana Icklin, Tovia Jenkins, Taekwondo Tracy, and Yannick Thompson. Oh my God, I'm tired. Quickly, my mouth is tired. Celine, name me an athlete from that I just named from the 2020 team who is the sibling of an Olympian, an Olympic champion.
Wait, go again.
Name me somebody from this team. All right, let me make it a little easier. Name me Veronica Campbell Brown, sibling from this 2020 team. I'm going to make it even easier for you. Name me Veronica Campbell Brown, brother from the 2020 Olympic team. See, Kadeem is helping you. Kadeem is helping you.
Can you give me the answer?
Sean Bailey is Veronica Campbell Brown, younger brother, our baby brother. So, but I hope a lot of people are listening because some of these names are going to come back when we do the World Championship quiz in another week or two. So, another water break. So, now we are going to get quickly into section 3, where we're going to share with you guys just some notable historic moments that involve Jamaica athletes. So, Celine, you can take it away with number 1.
All right, so number 1, we have the year 1948. So in 1948, Jamaica won a quinella in the men's 400 meters at its first Olympic Games as a country. And for the 400 meters, we had 2 athletes, and that's Arthur Wint and Herb McKinley. Big up to
Brilliant.
those men.
Brilliant. Happy independence to all of them. Next, in 1983, Jamaica produced the first world champion in the men's 400-meter event, and that's Bert Cameron.
And then we move to 2016 and 2020. So Jamaica is the only country in the history of women sprinting at the Olympic Games to win the 100-meter and the 200-meter double multiple times. Do we allow them to guess who this is, or
Can you
we just
guys
leave it to
guess
them?
who this is?
The woman
Mm-hmm.
won to
Mm-hmm.
win the 100 and 200-meter double multiple times.
All
Olympic
right.
Games.
All right. I'm waiting on Kadeem to give me the answer. I know he's going to come up with the answer, but until Kadeem do his research, you can just tell them, Celine.
All right, so that's Elaine Thompson era.
Okay, good. Jamaica is the only country in the history of male sprinting at the Olympic Games to win the 100 meters and the 200-meter triple times. And this was with Usain Bolt 2008, 2012, 2016. So that is another historic moment for Jamaica. Celine?
And did you know that Jamaica is the only country in the history of World Championship to win the 100-meter 5 times? And it's from a female. She won in 2009, 2013, 2015, 2019, and 2022. And that's none other than Shelly Ann Fraser Price.
Brilliant, brilliant. No other country has achieved anything like this, neither male nor female. Shelley and Fraser Price is indeed the goat of the 100 meters. Next, Jamaica is the only country in the history of the women sprinting at the Olympic Games to win all 3 medals in the 100 meters, and we did it multiple times. The only country to clean sweep the podium in the women's 100-meter is Jamaica, and we did it 2008, and we did it 2020 or 2021. And this is the first sweep was with Shellyan, Sharon, and Karen. The second clean sweep, Elaine, Sharika, and Shellyan Fraser Price. Outstanding.
Very. And Jamaica also produced the youngest male champion in the 100 meter in the history of World Championship. And that was Johan Blake at age 21.
Beautiful. Jamaica produced the oldest female champion in the 100 meters in the history of the World Championship, and this is no other than Mommy Rocket, Shelly and Fraser Price at the age of 35, and this happened in 2022 in Eugene.
And continuing on the females, for the period 1978 to 2007, Jamaica produced the female with the longest track and field career in global competition. And we speak
Wow.
of none other than Merlene Ottey. So that was she participated in 7 Olympic Games and 7 World Championships games. Ottey did a go on with herself.
Yeah, she did a go on with herself. And just to back up Marlene Ottey there, she could have competed at more World Championship games. But at the time when she started competing, the World Championship was being held every 4 years. It was later down that it was changed to every 2 years.
Two
So
years.
Merlene Ottey has the longest career in global track and field. She started 1978 at the CAC Games up to 2007 at the World Championship. So big up to Merlene Joyce Ottey. What a legacy. What a legacy indeed. So now we're going to quickly look at some records. Let us now look at some of the big records that Jamaica still have in track and field. Celine, take it away.
Of course, the first on the board is in 2009, we copped the world record men that was in the 100 meter. So that belongs to a Jamaican, none other than Usain Bolt in a time of 10.58. Then again in 2009, world record for 200 meter men, Usain Bolt again, 19.19. In 2012, we still have that record, world record for men 4x100 meter relay in a time of 36.84. Also for 2 years later, world record for men 4x200 meter relay in a time of 1 minute 18 seconds 0.63. 1:18.63.
Brilliant. What an achievement there in the sprints for Team Jamaica, for country Jamaica. And going down now, I am going to look at the Olympic records that we have. So in 2012, Usain Bolt, after setting a world record in Beijing 2008 in the 100 meter running 9.69, he came back 4 years later at the 2012 Olympics and set a new record in the 100 meter 9.63. 2008, he also set an Olympic record in the 200 meter 19.30. In 2021, the Olympic record for the women's 100 meters was set by none other than Elaine Thompson-Herah, 10.61. And in 2012, the Olympic record for the men's 4 by 100 meter set at a time of 36.84. So there we have it. Jamaica has all the world record in the 100, the 200 meters, the 4 by 100 meter relay, and the 4 by 200 meter relay. We also have the Olympic record in the men's 100, 200, 4 by 100 meter, and the women's 100 meters. So now Celine will tell us about the world championship records that belongs to Jamaica.
All right, so we start with the year 2009 World Championship record for 100 meter, Usain Bolt in his time of 9.58 seconds. 2009 again, World Championship record for 200 meter, Usain Bolt again, 19.19. In 2011, we have the World Championship record for the Championship record for men, 4x1 relays. That's in a time of 37.04. In 2022, we have the World Championship record that was set in the year 2022 for 100 meter women, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 10.65. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce again in 2022 copped the record for the women 200 meters in, sorry, not Shelly-Ann, not Shelly-Ann. Oh, Sherika, don't have me, please. Sherika Jackson has the record for the women 200 meter in a time of 21.45.
What
And
a
what can I
legacy.
say, right? That I'm just proud to be a Jamaican at this point.
What a legacy we have celebrating 61 years this year. And I wanted to do this show to highlight our athletes and, what they have done for us in terms of track and field. And this is indeed a rich legacy. One country, one little country, a little dot on the map, as people would say, holds the world record for the male sprint events, the 100 and 200 and the 4 by 1 relay, 4 by 2 relay, the Olympic record for the 1, the 2, 4 by 1 for men again, the Olympic record for the women 100 meter, the world championship record for the women 100, the women 200, the men 100, the men 200, the men 4 by 1. When I look at this lineup here, I think the only record that we need now to put in this trophy is the women 100 and 200 meter records. When you look at how decorated our trophy is, we just need to get our hands on those two records, the 100 and the 200 meters, but this is indeed a rich legacy. Celine, just put it all together in one sentence, and just tell me how you feel being a track and field athlete and see what we have accomplished as a small country.
Greatness is not something that is achieved overnight. It takes time, it takes commitment, it takes dedication, and it takes unity. There is so much that we share as Jamaicans as it relates to our history in track and field. In general, there's just so much. And tonight we zoomed in specifically on track and field, and it's really so much to take in. So many names, so many great moments in history, and even now we are still in the mode of writing that history. And we can only I only see it getting better from here. I mean, there are some areas where we have our faults, yes, but as I said, greatness is not something that happens overnight. It's something that you work on continually, and the more the support, even in the good times and the bad times, of course, we need to still support these athletes because they go through so much. And I mean, at this level, and to be performing, these athletes, they continue to perform above expectations at both at the collegiate level, um, at the World Championships, champs. We see it happening year by year, and it can only get better from here. And as athletes, spectators, Jamaicans on a whole, we just need to support them because they are writing a history that we all will be able to say that we can relate to this because it impacts us as citizens, and it impacts us being that we can say that, oh, I am Jamaican and this is what I can tell you about my country. Proud to be a Jamaican. I'll
Indeed,
put it in the
indeed.
data.
It is when I look at the data, and let me tell you something, Celine. When I was putting this thing together and doing the research, there is so much information out there. There are so many names. There are so many names. And I mean, if we were to call all of the names, we would not finish tonight. We would not be able to finish tonight. And this legacy here is really from this event that we continue to have every year, boys and girls champs. Boys and girls champs continue to produce. Many times we will say, oh, this athlete was stand out at champs, but they did not transition. But if all our athletes should transition, we would need our own championship. three
True,
would
that is
not
so
three
true.
would not be enough per event. We would have to have two teams competing, and we continue to put out. And now that we're celebrating Happy Independence Jamaica 60, this is for our athletes, all our
Mhm.
athletes. Even if it's only one time you ever touch a track, even
Right.
if it's only one time you ever touch a track, even if you had a junior career and you did not move on to a senior career, you still contributed to it, because boys and girls champs is over 100 years old. And the amount of athletes that we have produced out of champs alone, we could not finish the job to list all these people. And that was why I try to make a conscious effort tonight for us to name as many people that we
That's
could from
brilliant.
each era, from 1908 come all the way up to 2022. And here we are, just a few weeks away from another major championship. And I'm sure that
Looking
new
forward.
names new names will be added to this list. So this is for the athletes. Happy Independence, happy Jamaica 61 to all Jamaican track and field athletes. Happy,
Indeed.
happy independence from HP Chat Track. And let
And
us,
from
we're
me,
here, we are here to celebrate you guys. And Celine, being an athlete, I'm going to give you a minute just to say happy independence to the athletes.
happy independence to the athletes. As someone said in the chat, we little but we talawa, and from we only go. It's only going up from here. We've done so much so far. We can expect so much more from this set of athletes that's coming up, and they're being groomed well. And we're just looking forward to so much from them. And we just want to wish them as athletes all the best in the free season, that they'll, continue just producing PBs after PBs after PBs, because that's how you know that you have done your best. So we want to wish them all the best. We want to wish them happy independence, and we just want to wish them greatness in everything, all their endeavors that they decide to pursue, be it
Indeed,
on the track or off the track. We wish them all the
indeed,
best.
indeed, indeed. And I too want to wish all our athletes happy independence. And I know that they are getting ready for Budapest in two weeks or so. I just want to wish them all the best. And as a track and field fan, I want them to know that I appreciate them. I appreciate the work that they're doing. I appreciate them continuing to build on our legacy. And just, do your thing, do your best. Do your best, and your best will be good enough for us. Just go out there, just tune out the noise, tune out the negatives, tune out the noise, and just go out there and put your best foot forward and make yourself proud, your family proud, your school proud, your country proud. So happy independence again to my athletes, Jamaica track and field gems. Happy, happy, happy independence. And of course, the people in the chat are also there. I want to big up Unseen TV who join us. Big up yourself. Kadeem Barrett, Samantha, Lee, big up yourself. Coach Montague, big up yourself. Kino, everyone, thank you very much for being here. And of course, I'm going to let Celine go, but I'm going to do some announcement for the show coming up. So, Celine, thank you very much. And as I said earlier, people, Celine is a former track and field athlete herself. She had to balance track and field and academics. Celine will be graduating from the University of the West Indies in another few months, where she majored in journalism. So we want to wish Celine all the best. And of course, she is a news reporter on CVM. So we want to congratulate her on
Thank you.
her endeavors. And Celine, it will only get better from here for you. And guys, you will be seeing Celine a lot more when she is available. I started out with Celine even before she became a news reporter. So she is one
Right.
of the foundation of this channel. So Celine, congrats again and good luck, and all the best to you, my dear, on your end. You will do well. And of course, your graduation, wherever I am, I will be knocking my pot covers for you come November, when you're walking down the aisle. That proud moment, that proud moment. Thank you very much. And everyone on the chat, they're saying congratulations to
Anytime,
you.
HP. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having me, and thank you for those who tuned in. Keep on tuning in, guys. There's just so much to learn, so much. But thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Celine. So I'm going to let you go now. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to do some quick announcements before I go, just to keep you guys in the loop with what is happening. This will take maybe just a minute or two. Okay, next week, well, actually, this Thursday, my guest for Track and Field Business Uncut will be none other than Coach Regina Montague, a former athlete herself and former coach of Dintil High School. I think she would have coached people like Marcia Tate. I'm not sure if she coached like Elva Goldburn, but she will tell us her story come Thursday night. So my guest for Thursday night, August 3rd, will be Coach Regina Montague. And I like to see the female coaches in track and field coming forward, because they too have contributed to our legacy. Number two, HP Track Chat, Chat Track content is about everything track and field with a focus on Jamaica's legacy. Our tagline is sharing and educating. And I just want to take this moment to big up my first sponsor. I got my first sponsor. My first sponsor came from Akshev company, and this started just today. The contract started just today. So I just want to big up Akshev corporation for believing in the brand's content and did not hesitate to come on board to ensure that this space keep going as we continue to highlight our athletes and their contribution to our rich legacy in track and field. So again, thanks very much to my sponsor, Akshev Corporation, who is now on board. Thank you very much. Number three, the World Championship in Budapest will be August 19th to August 27th. So the show Track and Field Business Uncut will break August 10th when I will have my guest, Dwight Thomas, formerly of Calabar High School. Dwight Bigger Thomas, for those who know Dwight Thomas, he was very outstanding for Calabar in his time. And also, he's an Olympian, outstanding for Jamaica also. And the show will resume on August 31st after the World Championship with none other than very technical standout Ethelyn Tate. Ethelyn Tate will resume the show on August 31st to tell us about her journey at Very Technical and also competing for Jamaica at the highest level. Number four, the quiz is back. The quiz is back. Hey, ATJ Vibe. Thank you very much for being here. Good evening to you also. Thank you very much for being here. Number four, the quiz is back. If you were here for Boys and Girls Champs, you would have known that we had fun with the quiz. So the quiz is back. And the World Champs quiz is on. Yes, people, it is on. And it will be a whole new vibe and fun. And of course, I am still accepting entries to be on the quiz because it is about learning, it is about sharing about Jamaica track and field history. So don't be afraid to come on camera, even if you get it wrong. We're here to teach everyone about Jamaica's legacy, about the athletes, about our accomplishment as a country. So please do not be afraid to contact me and tell me that you want to be a part of the quiz. When is the quiz? August 15th, 16th, and 17th. So this will be the week of August 15th, which will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, the World Championship will start on the Friday, which is the following day, or the Saturday, which is the 19th. So the quiz will be the 15th, 16th, and the 17th of August, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then, of course, we all trickle out to either attend the games or watch in our living room, group watch, and have some fun. Next, the quiz is strictly about the World Championship and Jamaica's involvement. It will only be about the World Championship. It won't be about the Olympics. It won't be about any other competition. It will just be about the World Championship that involves Jamaica. So you need to know who your athletes are. You need to know which school they went to. You need to know which event they did. You need to know. So you see, I'm giving you some hints so that you can do your research. But guess what? It is going to be fun. It is going to be a lot of fun because, as I said before, it is about sharing and educating and learning from each other. So the Tuesday and Wednesday night will be for the fans. The quiz, the Tuesday and Wednesday night will be for the fans. And then I am going to have a special quiz the Thursday night that will involve athletes, as in retired athletes who want to be a part of it. So guys, you don't want to miss those 3 nights back to back. Tuesday and Wednesday night, which is the 15th and the 16th, will be for fans. And then, of course, the Thursday night, we will climax the quiz the Thursday night with athletes, former athletes, Olympians, whatever, but athletes will do. And let me tell you, we are going to have some fun because already I have some athletes who have registered or have shown interest that they want to be a part of the quiz. So I'm going to put a nice little quiz together for them and we are going to have fun. So that is all my announcements. So again, thank you guys very much. Thank you very much, Gail. Gail Graham, welcome to the program. Thank you for bigging up Celine. Thank you, everyone, for encouraging her. She's coming. She's coming, and she has been on this program before she even became a reporter. When she was very shy, I interviewed her last year, and her interview is actually on the channel. So you guys can check that out. She was very shy, just coming into her own. And now Celine is our news reporter at CVM. So we just want to big up my little niece. Not my blood niece, but of course I have taken her as my little niece. So, just big her up, show her love, and all of that. So again, guys, thank you very much. Thanks to my sponsor once more, Akshev. Thanks to my audience for being here. I hope you learn something tonight from our track and field legacy and the history. Thanks again to my co-host, Celine. Thanks to my team, Sandy British, Kino, Marley, and thank you all for being a part of this. And guys, wherever you are, thank you very much. Good morning, whether it's good morning, whether it's good afternoon, whether it's good evening, whether it's good night. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, we're going to be having fun with the World Championship, watching together and, just sharing in the moment. And again, happy independence to my country, to my people. And of course, more than anything else, happy independence to Jamaica track and field athletes, past and present, and those who come in. Happy independence. Happy Jamaica 61. Thank you very much for being here. I'm out. Peace.